We got TJ Pesefea with us. Thank you, TJ, for joining us. We'll use the raise hand function for any questions. And Trevor, you have our first question.
Hey, TJ, thank you for doing this. Just sort of looking at last season, I know for you, you seemed to get more reps later in the year, and you talked about just how comfortable you got as things went on. What were sort of your takeaways and things that you wanted to kind of execute and implement as you got to this point now?
Pretty much just keeping that same mentality, keeping that same pace that I was maintaining throughout the end of the season. Just trying to stay consistent, with my work ethic and my mental, and just getting a better feel for the defense. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
Jacob.
Hey, TJ, what would you say some of the biggest differences are in your responsibility as a defensive lineman between what you were asked to do last year in the 3-3-5 versus what you're asked to do this year in a more traditional 4-3 look?
I feel like this year we're able to play more open-minded, play more free, be able to play together. And yeah, I feel like we just have a little bit more freedom, but still tied to our technique and assignment. But yeah, that's one of the main things I've seen is being able to play open-minded with, other 3D linemen on the field. So yeah.
Trevor.
Sort of just zooming in on Jacob's question, I know Coach Rodriguez has talked about wanting you guys to play more downhill and maybe not as finesse as last year with the pass rushers mentality at nose tackle. What kind of things has he worked on with you to bring that out of you guys?
A lot, technique, alignment, assignment, a lot of hands, he brings a lot of new technique towards the pass rush, being able to teach us a lot, bringing a lot of information and knowledge down from the NFL level. So yeah, it's been really helpful, learning that and being able to apply it to our game on the field.
Jacob.
TJ, there seems to be a lot more physicality associated with the position that you're being asked to play now compared to what you had to do last year. How do you kind of physically prepare yourself to serve in a role where you are going to have to be a little bit more violent at the point of attack and you do get to play a little bit more downhill? In what ways do you kind of physically and mentally prepare yourself for that kind of a role?
I feel like it wasn't really that big of an adjustment for me because I feel like this defense really fits the way I've been playing since forever. It kind of just that perfect match type, and that's why I feel like, I got down in weight, so I was able to move a lot better, but it kind of just fit me. So the move over wasn't really that big of a change for me.
Trevor.
So again, just physically, you kind of put on a lot of weight like post high school, right? As you were getting into college and then now at ASU, what did just having the strength and conditioning and Coach Joe do for you and your development, do you think?
A lot, it took a lot of, some coaches pulling me aside and just letting me know that it's another chance, because last year with the 3D linemen didn't have that much opportunity, but just knowing that there's going to be a bigger role adding now a 4D down D lineman, it was just them pulling me aside and just getting me ready and letting me know and me just, taking that on and just keep on going.
Jacob.
We've heard a number of people talk about how DJ Davidson looks like a completely different player compared to what he was last year. Have you noticed some of those changes? And if so, what are they? And kind of how has he reinvented himself as a player, if you will?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say that anything bad about him. Last year, he played very well for us last year. And he was a dog, somebody who helped me, And this year, I feel like he's just taking it to another level. Like every aspect, his mindset, his, like I said, he's able to play more free now. So he gets to be more of himself instead of trying to become, So I feel like he's just turned it up in a whole new level. And it's something I look up to and, try to imitate. And, as he's getting better, I'm getting better. So, I love it. And he's been doing great, killing it.
Hod.
TJ, I know that you're kind of lucky. You're only on your second defensive line coach at ASU. There's some players that have been on the third. For the defensive line, I mean, do you feel that it's maybe not that big of a deal going from one position coach to another in a matter of less than 12 months, or is there really a lot of adjustment that maybe you have to go through those growing pains in the spring, but now in preseason practice, it all sorts itself out?
Well, in my high school, we had a lot of, different coaches. Like almost every year looked like, it seemed like. So I was kind of used to that, the changeover and that process. So yeah, again, just like the defense switch, it was pretty smooth for me and nothing I'm not used to.
Trevor.
TJ, just with Jermaine and Steph and some of those guys coming into play, three technique close to you. I know Jermaine being an end last year. What do you think about that and how they're developing at that position?
And I don't, like I said, I feel like it almost simplified the game for them. They were asked to do a lot because sometimes they're inside, sometimes they're outside. And now they're kind of like solidified in their spot. They get to play with leverage and things like that. And I really feel like Coach Rod is doing an amazing job in putting guys in the best place to, do the best. So I feel like the playing the three tech really fit them. And they just been running with it and taking off.
All right, 2 more questions. Jeff.
Can you just go over a little bit what things have been like since March for you, and any, experiences with all of this pandemic that you've gone through?
Yeah, it was pretty tough when it first hit, but credit to our coaching staff. They made the whole transition easy, kept us focused, kept our mind on football this whole time. And yeah, that's all I can say is that the coaches made it real easy for us to continue to always think about football and always think about the game.
Last question, Jacob.
It seems like one of the themes among the defensive linemen so far in camp and in the early parts of this year have been that Coach Rodriguez has really changed the way that you guys think about the game, both from a physical and from a mental standpoint. In what ways has that affected you personally? And then in what ways would you say that's changed the defensive line group as a whole?
Oh man, just as me, I could say for the D-line, he's just elevated our game, really opening our mind, not just, telling us to get off the ball and just deal with whatever comes at you. He's really breaking the game down for us, helping us understand, and that's really helping us be able to play more free, just being able to understand, blocks and sets and helping us understand what's most likely to come out of that. And yeah, that's just all credit to Coach Rod. He's just really breaking it down for us and helping us understand the game more. So when we get on the field, we're not really just looking around and just guessing.